So this is a tivavai, what we call in the Cook Islands as a tivavai. There's different types of tivavai. This one is called tivavai te ore, and ore means like square, like handkerchief kind of thing. And from my understanding, this was created in Atiu, so my mum's mum, who's from the Cook Islands, both my parents are from the Cook Islands, but my mum's mum, Tangata Kiki, who is this lovely lady here, and the little baby there with the big head is me. So she was part of the group of women that made this tivavai. From my understanding, there was about 10 tivavais that were made, and that's how the tivavais are made. It's significant to me because we have many tivavai at home, but this is the tivavai we don't bring out. Doesn't matter if it's a wedding or birthday, nothing, it always stays stored away. Kia ora ana koutou katoa thought, ko Tangata Kiki, Pauline, Te Ura Atua Rupini, tōku ingoa. I'm born and bred in South Auckland, in Papatoi. Both my parents come from the beautiful islands of the Cook Islands, so my dad is from Rarotonga, he's also from Mauke, he's also from Tahiti. And my mum is from Atiu, so from the Ngāpu Toru Islands, the southern islands of the Cook Islands. I am a master's student, so I completed my Master of Arts. I looked at Cook Islands Māori language in terms of how our community groups encourage and develop the language for our youth. So that's where my focus was for my research. I enjoyed the research. It showed me that our community groups, and when I talked about community groups, it wasn't the big organizations, they were very much our small ones. So our sports groups, our little dance groups, like everything and anything that we don't really focus on in terms of language learning, those were the groups and the community groups that I reached out to and did my research around. My success moments, it was all about the engagement I had with my communities, the engagement I had with the different types of communities, and the relationships afterwards. So now I sit here, these community groups that I reached out to, they weren't just community groups in my research, they are community groups that I continue to have relations with. And not just for my research, but everything else that I do in life, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's church, I'm very mindful of those relationships. I think the toughest barriers and challenges that I went through my research was having people around me that didn't understand the importance of how we collect our data and how we collect our knowledge. And that was probably my biggest challenge, and trying my hardest to explain why, there was a lot of pushback when it came to my ethics application. But in saying that, there was a lot of discussion around why it was important. So although it was a challenge, I was able to talk with them about it and why it was important for me. My empowerment comes from my family. My empowerment comes from my community. I feel like we are part of this specific group, or this Indigenous group of the university that has access to knowledge, that has access to knowledge holders, and not everyone has that. And I feel like that's where my empowerment comes from, the fact that I can access people when I want to. When someone tells you you can't do it, you tell them, watch me, I can do it. And I've said that 100 times to 100 people. When someone says to me, I don't think you can do that. Oh no, I can do it. Just watch when I do it. I might not do it now, I might not do it tomorrow, but I definitely know I can do it. So yeah, I think those are the words that I kind of live by, and those are things that I will continue to say and I will continue to share, whether it's with my family, with my community, with my students. Yeah.